Hi, this is Wajid Rogerson. I'd like to welcome you to Social Business Online Course Module 1. I'm here with Nobel Laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus, and in this module, he's going to share with us what is a social business and why they're so important to our future. So welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
Let's start with the most obvious question. What is a social business?
Well, in one sentence, I can say it's a social business is a problem-solving business without having any intention of making personal gain out of it. So, taken that, you can see there are many problems around us. Usually, they are addressed by charity programs most of the time, either government charity or a private charity. If you have a problem of education, problem of healthcare, problem of environment, you name it. So traditional way of addressing those are through the charity channel. What we found that it's much more effective if you can do it in a sustainable way, meaning that when money goes in charity, it goes out, does a wonderful job, the money doesn't come back. So you have only one-time use of the money. If you can design the problem in a business way, the solution in a business way, then the money goes out, solves the problem, and money comes back. So that opens up a whole door for future as a sustainability door, because then same money can be used again and again. You have an endless way of using the same money. Whereas charity money has one life, social business money has endless life. It never stops working. So that's the power, that you bring power because you made it into a module where you go out, solve the problem in a business way. But the moment you use the word business, people immediately think, you're going to make money. So we took that money part, personal money part, out of the whole picture. So I do this not to make money for myself, I'm doing it just to solve the problem in a sustainable way so that I can reuse the money again and again. So it comes, if you look at it from the charity point, it is very clear. In charity, you're not going to make money. So what you're doing, you are using a business method of solving the problem and doing it again and again because money comes back again and again. So it becomes very powerful. So that's the whole direction. Conventional way, people want to go ahead and do business. The moment you use the word business, you kind of smell money. It's for profit. So that's how we are used to understand, that's how we are taught. Business is to make money. So we took that money part out, took the methodology of business, meaning you produce a product, you produce a service and sell it and recover the cost that you incurred in doing that. If possible, make a surplus. That's what the method of it. But in the process, we made it such a way that money, the surplus you generate for yourself. So the more money you make, more happy you are. So we said, okay, you do that in a conventional business, but let's take it in a problem-solving area. How to use the business method to do that. For example, if you have a shortage of water, quality water, good, safe drinking water. So one way you can give free distribution of that water so that people can have it. Or you create a business outfit so that you sell the water, cover the cost, and do it again so that your money is not running out. So one time you have done that, you can do it again and again and again. So you continue with it. But in charity, you have a pot of money, you did that, and it's over, then somebody has to give you money to do it again. So that you are relieved from that dependence on sources of money to come to help you do it again and again. Here in social business, once you start, it never stops because the money comes back. So it becomes extremely powerful. Only thing you remove from that whole business idea, I don't want to make money. The moment I want to make money, then the problem-solving part becomes very weak because this becomes strong. I want to make money, so whether I'm solving a problem or not, that's not my concern. My concern is how much money I'm making. Even if I'm doing harm to you and I'm making money, I'll go ahead and do it because I don't have any qualm because business means making money, so I'm making money. So that's what we wanted to stay away from. By designing social business, money, personal money part is taken away, so it's all focused on solving problem. You can use this methodology anywhere you want to do any problem that you see around the world, any social problem, any environmental problem, you make it happen. So all the creative ideas keep coming. The moment you take the money part out, then suddenly you bring your creative power to address the problem in a solution which becomes sustainable. That's a social business.
Wonderful. I'm curious, what led you to develop the concept of social business so that they understand that the genesis of this whole idea?
I started this lending money to poor women because in the village next door to the university where I was teaching, I saw extreme poverty in the mid-70s when I was teaching economics in the university. And we are going through a famine, and people are suffering next door, right there, next to the university campus. And I felt terrible. Here I teach elegant theories of economics, beautiful, everything is so perfect. Then I go out and see people in terrible situation. The skinny is like this, don't have anything to eat. So I wonder what this economics is all about, because if it is not changing the life of the people just next to the classroom that I teach, it's a worthless thing. I don't need that. So I was trying to see, maybe I throw this out, but what is it I can do? I have not learned anything. I have done my PhDs, I've done all my research, everything I did, but I never thought of using it in the life of the people. So I have not learned anything how to make it happen. So I said, forget about what you have learned, it's not helping you. So I went out to see if, as a human being, I can be useful to another human being. So I went out in the village every day, I go there after the class and see if there is just someone that I can be useful to. So I will go around, talk to people and find something. And my idea was I should make myself available to one single person at least every day. So I did the tiny, tiny little things. Then I started noticing the loan sharking in the village. People are in need of money. They go to people who have some spare money to lend, and they lend you, and they give exorbitant conditionalities on top of it. And you lose everything. And that's a victim that I meet every day as I go around. You read it in the storybooks, you read it in novels and all kinds of things, and you feel sorry for them. Now I see persons, real persons, and you meet them every day, and the terrible story behind everybody. And I feel terrible that here I am. I don't even have a capacity to help this person because he's a victim or she's a victim of this loan sharking. And I felt rotten inside of me that I am so useless that I can't solve this problem. Then suddenly an idea came. I thought I can do that. I can't solve the problem of the whole world, but I can definitely solve the problem of a few people that I made in this village. Why don't I lend the money myself? If I lend the money, they don't have to go to loan shark. Problem is solved. So what's the big deal? I don't have to do research for that. I don't have to write a journal article for that. All I have to do, take a few dollars worth of money, give it to them, and the problem is solved. I immediately did that. And I feel good that I could at least protect one person from being victim of a loan shark. And that's the start. And it became very popular. Everybody wanted to borrow money from me because it's so easy. You can take the money, no conditions, nothing. I just give the money. And it became more and more people coming to me, became very popular. And I enjoyed it because I saw it must be helping them, otherwise why should they come to me? It started spreading all around the village, started going outside the village. That was the beginning. I said, my God, this is a simple solution. You can get the money. All I have to do, make sure the money comes back. So I made little rules, procedures, and so on. And that was the beginning. And I created a bank out of it called Grameen Bank and continued to expand it. And that became known globally, called it microcredit. Once I did that, I noticed other problems of the people, not only the loan shark, health problem, education problem, housing problem, sanitation problem, water problem. And I felt terrible that I can't do anything. So I started doing things in a very small way. First thing I did is the problem of night blindness. Children cannot see at night. And you almost go to every house, you'll find one child who cannot see at night. And I was surprised why it happened. So I go to the doctor, talk to them. They said, well, this is called night blindness. All you need to do is to give them vitamin A. It's the vitamin A deficiency which causes it. So once they have the vitamin A, they'll be okay. So how do I do that? Oh, buy vitamin A tablets, give it to them. Or ask them to eat vegetables. Vegetables have lots of vitamin A. So I thought about it, and I decided on vegetables. I didn't want to go to the tablets, then they have to go to buy them someplace and they don't have it. So I said, vegetable is easier, they can grow vegetables. And I encouraged them, but it didn't go very far. Then an idea came, why don't I give them the seed? So that they, now that they have the seed, they may try to grow this. So I started selling seeds. So I made a small packet, 1 penny each packet. So you take that packet and sprinkle it, and vegetables, eat it, make your children eat it, and the problem will be solved. Gradually it became very popular. I've been selling seeds along with Grameen Bank that I'm doing, so side by side at the same time. As Grameen Bank grew, my seed business grew. At one point, my seed business became the largest, we became the largest seed seller in the whole country, vegetable seed seller. And I felt good. By that time, night blindness is over in the whole country because people knew how to do that, and now it's easy to get it. So I decided to do that in a way so that I don't have to go back to find money to help them. I just did it 1 penny. It covers all the cost. So 1 penny is not a big thing for anybody to spare. Since I'm giving them the loan, they can spare 1 penny out of their income, buy the seed packets and grow it. That gave me the idea that yes, it can be self-sustaining thing. Then I went into sanitation because there was no sanitation in the country, in the villages. People just go out in the street, right around the bushes. So I said, no, this is bad. You have to have latrines, you have to have toilets. People are not aware of toilets. So I said, okay, this is very it. I give you a loan, and I set up a little place where we'll produce all those toilets, and you buy it, you install it, and you got it done. And that became very popular. So I started giving loans because loan is a small loan, and you buy the toilets right there. And I made it rule, if you don't have toilets, we can't give you a loan from Grameen Bank. So, if you want to take a loan, you better start the toilet. So first, they can't spend the money yet because they don't have the money. I said, just dig a hole. Dig a hole and use it as a toilet. It doesn't cost money. After you get the loan, then you get the toilet loan. And then you have a proper sanitary toilet. So that became very important part of our work. So as Grameen Bank grew, it became nationwide, and every homes in Grameen Bank has a toilet. Now that the poor people have toilets, it brought pressure to the richer people in the village. That how come we don't have the toilet? We have to go in the bush. The women complain particularly because they have to hold on to themselves during the daytime. They can't go out. So the pain of it, they said, wow, this is an easy solution. Why don't you have a toilet? So they came and they started buying this factory is right there. So you can buy the toilet right there, and we get the money back. So we are selling it. So it became a nationwide toilet distribution centers and so on. So that gave idea. One after another, we started creating those. We had healthcare clinics, we have hospitals, one after another. Then I have created more than 60 companies like this. And people say, why are you doing this? You must be making a lot of money. I said, I don't make money. Then I said, I do it because it solves people's problem. Are you crazy? Why should you do business to solve people's problem? Why can't you just make money out of it? I said, no, I don't want to make money. Then people keep pressuring me that if you're not making money, it's not a business. I said, is there a law in the country that you have to make money? Otherwise it will be legal? No, there is no such law. So I'm not taking money. I'm not doing any. It's my decision. I don't want to make money. I want to solve the problem because that's my concentration is. Still, they are not convinced. Then I put this word. I said, look, this is a new class of business, not the old type of business. This is a business to solve problem without making personal money. Then I have to give it a name to define that class. So I started calling them social business. Non-dividend company to solve human problems. And gradually people understood and people get very attached to it, want to do it themselves. Now it is spread around the world. So yeah, this is what. And I explained why it's important. Because in a conventional business, you are playing a role of a selfish person. All you're doing because you're interested in you. I said, human being is not built only for selfishness. It's a combination of selfishness and selflessness. So you express your selfishness through the business, but never express your selflessness to the business. You express your selflessness through charity. I said, charity is wonderful, but there is another option. You can express your selflessness by creating a business, then it becomes very strong. because it can expand, it can grow, you can take it anywhere, you replicate, and so on. And that is the whole idea. One business is based on selfishness, another business is based on selflessness. So these are the two kinds of businesses that we talk about.
Professor, we have non-profit, we have not-for-profit, we have NGOs, we have even foundations. Why are social businesses now essential for our future?
That's good that we have NGOs and charitable organizations and so on. Otherwise, nobody would pay any attention. And also the foundations, also governments who give charitable activities and so on. But one thing is missing because there's so much power, creative power in human being. And then you can do it in a sustainable way. That part is missing. Because the moment you go into the sustainable issue, you are tucked with the profit making. So we created a whole world of business which is money-centric, profit-centric. So you cannot see the problems of the people because you said that's not your mission. Your mission is to make money. Profit maximization is the mission of business. That's what we are taught in our textbook. So if I'm profit maximizer, I don't care what kind of problem there. We always say in that case, that is a subject of the government. Government should take care of the problem. We pay them the taxes, they go and solve the problem of the people. We concentrate on making money. I said, that's wrong. I said, as a human being, I'm able to solve other people's problems. That's what I'm made of. I have the creative capacity to do that. So I can do that, and I create a business to solve the problem instead of going the charity way. Charity way is something not sustainable. It doesn't continue, it doesn't grow. It always makes you dependent to somebody else's decision. So you're not self-sustaining, you're not standing on your own feet, running it. So that's where the social business comes in. So you have the profit maximizing world, you have the charity world, now we put another slot, which is not only profit maximizing, not even a single penny of profit for yourself, personal money. The company that we create in social business makes profit, but the profit for the business is rolled back into the business. It's never taken by the owner or the investors of that. Investor can take back the investment money. If I've invested $1 million, I get my $1 million back. But I don't take any extra money out of this because this is done to solve the problem. Like when I do charity, I'm not expecting the money to come back. I'm gone, finished. So this is where I expect only the investment money to come back so that it can run by itself. It runs by its own juice. So this is important part. Why is it important? Because government alone cannot solve these problems. Charity alone cannot solve this problem. These are gigantic problems. Health is a problem. Poverty is a problem. Environment is a problem. Water is a problem. Health care is a massive problem. So, and governments say, oh, we are solving the problem. Never done that. Even the richest country in the world, United States, cannot solve its healthcare problem. This is still a big issue, a big debate, I think, and the people suffer. And imagine what's the problem of the poor countries, where government do not have the capacity to address that. Where do they go? They go unattended. Diseases flourish. So how to address that? Between the government and the charity, you need something which is more self-sustaining, can continue and come with creative ideas and can expand. That's where it fits in. This is one part of the story. The other part of the story is whole economics that we created is based on a very particular interpretation of a human being. Their interpretation of a human being is human being is driven by self-interest. That's the core of the economics. I protest that. Human being is not about self-interest. Human being is also about interest of the others. That part is completely removed from economics. I said, that's a wrong interpretation. Since we did the wrong interpretation, we created the wrong world. The world which is always running after money. Because that's how we've been drilled into our head. This is what your direction is, this is what you have to do. And we are doing that because we are told this is the way to do it. And the more money you make, more successful you are. I said, that's not what it is. The whole thing is we are a creative human being. We have selfishness and selflessness. And that's where the selflessness part comes in. I said, you have to interpret the whole economics with the assumption that human beings is of both kinds, selfishness and selflessness, in the same person. So as a person, I can run profit-making business. As same person, I can run problem-solving business without making any money. So I have no kind of conflict in me. I'm doing both. How much of problem-solving business, how much of money-making business, that's a decision I have to take. I can take 1% interest in conventional business, making money, 99% in social business, that's my choice. Or I can do the reverse, 99% of profit-making business, 1% of social business. You can have any combination whatsoever. But to say you can do 100% profit-making, nothing of social business, is completely wrong interpretation of a human being. So we go to the fundamentals of the economics. So once you introduce the selfless part of human being, then the whole economy changes and the whole world changes. Now every person, you, me, anybody, can be doing both. And you decide as you grow up how much of what. It's up to your taste. And I say, people give me the interpretation that if you take the profit motive out of the whole picture of economics, the whole thing will collapse. Because profit making is the incentive which drives the economy. I said, yes, you have a point. Profit motive is a very strong incentive. The more money you make, you get more excited you get. But you're wrong saying that this is the only incentive. I protest that. There are many other incentives. And I say, look, making money is a happiness. The more money you make, more happy you get. Solving other people's problem is super happiness. The more you do, you get more super happiness. So it's a contest between the happiness and the super happiness. I said, who says that? I said, I said that. But that doesn't feel that way. I said, because you've never done that. I said, you do it, then you feel it. Otherwise, you'll never know that part. You think only the one part. So I said, at least you test it out and then decide. I have tested it out and I'm convinced that solving problem is a more exciting thing than making money for yourself. So you find your own role. What is your role in this world? What is you as a human being? What do you want out of your life? Who are you? You define yourself. And these are the options to define. But the conventional business doesn't give the option. So the future of the world has to be exploring your own worth, who you are. And that's where social business becomes important. The more you see you have the power to change the world, the more excited you'll get, and you'll change the world. Today, because of the profit motive, we created a world which is completely lopsided. All the wealth is concentrated in few hands. 1% of the world's population own 99% of the wealth of the entire world, which cannot be something that anybody can accept. So you have an enormous disparity. Become all the people, few have the wealth, and all billions and billions of it who have nothing. They are not that they are fools, they are incapable, they are as capable as you are. But the system pushed it all the wealth to few hands, and others deprived them. So as a result, you have a society which is sort of a ticking time bomb. You cannot create this kind of world to continue without creating anger, without creating dissatisfaction, and this dissatisfaction can explode anytime in future. So necessity of social business is important because it addresses this issue. Should we continue with this kind of world where all the wealth goes up there and I get nothing? Or we should create a business setup or a mechanism or interpretation of economics in a way that we can share the wealth everywhere and we participate in solving each other's problem.
Wonderful. Final question of this module is that since we talked about the government cannot solve all the problems, is there a role here for the government in social business? If any, can they play a role?
One way, who is the government? To me, it's a representation of the people.
Yes.
So whatever we want, that's what the government has to do, because they are the representative. If we want social business, government has to do social business. There's no option. What do the governments do now? You have a problem of poverty. If we are United States, how do you solve your problem of poverty? Give them welfare. Give them a check every month. You take care of your food, you take care of your rent, take care of your car. Don't complain. We have enough money to give you. So we write checks. We call it a welfare program. So you solve it because you are addressing that issue. If you are in the social business world, probably will not go that far because that's a charity program.
Professor, we talked about the government cannot solve all the problems. Can the government play a role in social business, if any?
Yes, government can play a very important role in social business. After all, government is not a separate entity. It's part of us. We send the people in the government, they run it on behalf of us. So if you want to solve the problem as an individual through social business, government will also be doing the same thing, solving problems. But today, if you look at it, governments try to solve problems by government charity programs. You give them decent names to that, like welfare program. Welfare program is someone who cannot take care of himself or his family, so government issues a check every month. You are on the welfare recipient, you are on our welfare list. So you keep getting the money, you don't complain about it. You get your rent, you get your food, you get your car, whatever you need. So that's one problem. We can address this poverty issue in a social business way also. Why this person is dependent on the state charity? Because he doesn't have a job. Because he doesn't have an income. Why doesn't he have a job? He tried everywhere, he doesn't have a job. So first of all, I challenged that issue. I said, why people should look for a job in the first place? People are not built to make looking for jobs. That's another issue. So what I said, why can't we create a social business which creates jobs? A business always needs people, so you hire them as people. Create a business. And that business is created not for making money for anybody. That business is created so that they can have enough earning for the employees they have and create a little surplus so that it can be rolled back. That's all. Nobody is trying to make money to get themselves rich. So that business is easy to run, to create a business to solve it. If I want to take 5 welfare recipients out of welfare, can I create a business where these 5 unemployed welfare recipients will find decent job for themselves? This is just a business to fit them, only fit them. If they earn enough money to cover all the costs, my problem is solved. And it's a self-sustaining. I get my money back. This is by definition social business. I get my money back. The business keeps running. They keep earning their own. They are not dependent on a state charity. They protected their dignity, because being at the mercy of anybody takes away dignity. They use their creative power. They are not sitting there like zombie in their homes doing nothing, watching TV or something. They feel that they are a useful citizen. They are as good as anybody else. They are not a second-class citizen relying on somebody else's tax money. I pay taxes as a wage earner or a salary earner, so on. So this is a simple thing. But why don't we think about that? Because we are trained, you do business to make money, not solve everybody's problem. So we are doing the other way. The moment you are said you can make money, at the same time you can do other kinds of business to solve other people's problem. You don't have to solve everybody's problem. You can take this problem of 5 people and solve it, and that becomes an instant. Everybody else will say, hey, this is a good idea, I can do this. Government can do the same thing. Government create businesses, government enterprises, help them to create enterprises so that you can run enterprises and make money for yourself. And I don't have to pay you. All I do, create environment, create situation where you can use yourself to make money. So that way government can look for that. I said overnight you don't have to change everything from welfare to social business. Try with 5, try with 10, try with 20. If it works with 20, it will work for 200. If it works for 200, it will be working for 200,000. So this is the direction. So the government can use the social business idea wherever they are using charity problem. And government can create a social business fund, saying that anybody who would like to start a business of their own, if you are unemployed, you come to me and I'll look at it. If it's a good idea, I'll invest in your business. This fund will invest in your business. And all you have to do, be successful in your business, return the money. Because this fund is a social business fund. They're not interested to make money for themselves. They're interested in solving your problems and getting the money back. That's all.
Thank you. That's the end of Module 1. Now answer the questions so that you understand your comprehension for Module 1, and I'll see you at the next one.